Alright, so one of my subscribers actually asked me to talk about the latest chapter of Lookism, so yeah, the video. Like, what can I say about this chapter that hasn't already been said? Like, this chapter is easily a 10 out of 10. And the funny thing about this chapter is that it didn't really have much to add anything of substance to his story besides like Jae-kyung's deal with James. This chapter was literally filled with nothing but just 10 out of 10 cool ass moments. So here's some of my favorite parts of the chapters. Goo just toying with Hashtag, and I forget the other one name, with just a windshield wiper, a spring, and a pen is just funny to me. And it's just Goo being Goo. Like, Goo is at his coolest whenever he's literally not using a sword, but any other random fucking item he find on the battlefield. My by far favorite part of this chapter so far is just Gite unaliving the two bums, and Goo just being like, hey yo, what the fuck? And then Gite goes ahead to disrespect Goo by just wiping off the blood on his shirt. And then just says, I saw these two was going to give me the answers we wanted, so I just murk them. You got a problem with that, boy? Like, he actually put the axe to his throat and threatened him. Obviously, Goo wasn't scared from this, but I'm saying it right here now. Gite over Goo. Obviously, I love the panel of my daddy and Goo. And also this goofy ass panel like Gite. And Jae-kyung was honestly one of my favorite parts as well. I've seen a lot of discourse on whether he would have lose the allied or not. Here's what I personally think. I think he would have lose, but he also would have won at the same time. I don't think he can actually take on the entirety of allied once they actually lock into a fight. Like individually in a one-on-one fight, then sure, I believe that Jae-kyung would actually win. But taking on all of allied when they lock in is basically something I don't think they can do. Because a consistent thing that's shown throughout this arc is whenever allied locks into a fight, because most of the time they're just goofing around in the fight, whenever they actually lock into a fight, they just start winning. Because while yes, Zack was performing pretty well against Sangbek in his fight, the only time Sangbek actually looked like if he was genuinely going to lose was when Zack locked in when Sangbek shit talked Gongsu. And that especially holds true for Big Body Daniel, because while yes, he was fighting Jin Rang and was copying Jin Rang's moves, like he tried to copy Jin Rang's conviction and punch, Jin Rang was the same person who couldn't do a single thing against Jae-kyung. Meanwhile, Daniel was just tanking Jae-kyung's hits and putting up a pretty decent fight. So if they had locked in, I do not think Jae-kyung would have won simply because he was outnumbered and they are a lot stronger when they're actually focusing on trying to win the fight. And we know Daniel wasn't actually trying to, take down Jin Rang. But the low point in this chapter for me was definitely Jin Rang's conversation with James, because this shit was just boring to me. Like, Jin Rang for the entirety of this arc has kind of just been a kind of unimpressive character. I don't mean like unimpressive in terms of strength, but I wasn't seeing him being like strong enough to compete against James or Gite. But I mean like unimpressive in terms of personality wise. I find he just boring. Like, he tried to give off this macho man type of shit, but I just find that boring. But I am definitely more entertained by his number 2 and number 3, because they actually feel like them have actual personalities. Well, number 2 actually have a personality. Fuck it, even number 3 has more of a personality than Jin Rang. And Jin Rang and number 3 is the same macho man personality. I also seen some people trying to say that Vampire is one of Goo's secret friends. That is blatantly not the case. Vampire was shown to not be loyal to Jin Rang whatsoever. So the second Gite or Goo just threatened to like kill she immediately ratted them out, which is why she with them. And as for the final part, I'm just going to say it right here now. Jin Rang is going to be fucking murdered next chapter. Like, the only reason I believe this match is going to last longer than a single panel is because either Gite is going to toy with him or allies are immediately going to help him out. But honestly, this chapter was just a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved every single moment of this chapter besides like the Jin Rang and James conversation. But other than that, this chapter was just peak.